In March 2020, I travelled to Doha, Qatar, to visit my mum, who's been living there for the last 2 years. But what was initially only meant to be a short visit turned into a whole 4-month-long stay as a result of the lockdowns being imposed all around the world due to the coronavirus pandemic. Only 3 days after my entry into the country, Qatar completely closed its borders to all non-Qatari citizens, including residents, leaving so many people stranded abroad. It was also fairly difficult for me to leave, not because there weren't any flights, but the flights that were available were quite limited, and they were extremely expensive, leading me to decide to stay in the country for a considerable amount of time. So what did I get up to whilst I was in Qatar? Well, the first week was actually really fun. It was my first time seeing my mum for quite a long time, so it was really great to spend some time with her. And we were doing quite a few day trips. We went paddle boarding quite a lot. Unfortunately, I don't have videos of that because it's difficult to take your phone with you whilst you're paddle boarding, but that was great. We also went down to the south of Qatar to a place called Sealine Beach, which is where the desert meets the sea. We were doing some dune bashing in my mum's boyfriend's car, which was really great fun. We were just exploring different places in the country. We went to Zikreet beach as well and saw this weird art monument in the middle of the desert. I'm not really sure whether I liked it that much, but it was interesting. So I'm currently at the amphitheatre in Qatar, in Doha, and the place is completely empty. Since the coronavirus crisis has started, the usually busy restaurants and the whole busy complex of Qatar has now turned into almost a ghost city. With, other than workers, this place, the amphitheatre, being completely devoid and empty of people. As time went by, the restrictions got stricter and stricter, and the lockdown that was imposed was pretty harsh. Basically, all parks were closed, all beaches were closed. You weren't really allowed to go out unless it was for an essential purpose. The only things that were open, really, were essential shops such as pharmacies and supermarkets. And even to enter those, we had to show a contact tracing app on our phone and a green status on this contact tracing app. Basically, there was really nothing to do after a while. And yeah, it became quite boring with the vast majority of time being spent indoors. And I'd probably say that this period lasted at least 2 months, maybe 3 months. So yeah, I wasn't really enjoying my time that much during this period. But things did get better. My last couple of weeks or 3 weeks in Qatar were quite fun as well, because the restrictions were eased a significant amount. Restaurants reopened, albeit to a limited capacity. And we actually booked a one-night stay on this island called Banana Island, which was quite an experience. It was a luxury resort, and that's not something that really I'm too fond of. I don't really like to travel to luxury resorts. I like to if anything, I like to stay with locals and really experience the culture firsthand. So this is very far away to what I'm usually interested in. But after 3 months of being in lockdown, that was definitely a pleasant change. And yeah, so we took the boat to this place called Banana Island, and it's basically a man-made island in the shape of a banana. We spent some time there, sunbathing on the beach, swimming in the sea, although there were jellyfish. So we literally just got to the island, and the first thing we did is Kate went to the beach. It's stunning, it's beautiful. You can see the view over here. However, swimming in the sea is very difficult because, unfortunately, there are jellyfish like this one everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. So we've got to be really cautious. And yeah, basically, sooner or later, I found that Turkey had reopened its borders and was accepting travelers from Qatar. Flights had started again. I found a cheap flight. And eventually, finally, I left the country. But unfortunately, I had also had some trips to Syria planned. I was meant to take some group tours to Syria and organize trips there, but as a result of this pandemic, that had to be cancelled. And instead, I just spent time in lockdown in Qatar. but at least I was with family, right?